Okay, now we're
All
good.
right, if you guys had any idea like what we were going through to make this happen, literally just moved apartments. Doing a lot of things on the fly here.
So bear with us, please.
With juggling our daytime jobs. But we did it. Anybody on?
We got 2 viewers.
All right, we got 2 viewers.
How's it going, people?
Don't make that too loud. I want to hear 'em.
Yep.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
You see they're
all on. Okay.
Let's
so
who do we have on the chat?
we have Nathan Sen. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Hold on a second. He's
Nate?
Nate.
Nathan, what's going on? Can you hear us?
He can't hear anyone, he's saying. Mr. W can hear
Mr.
us.
W, you could hear us?
Yep.
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right,
Okay,
awesome, man. Awesome.
And then, Nathan, you can't hear us? Can you hear us now?
Mr. W, while he's figuring that out, you want to quickly introduce yourself to the degree that you're willing to divulge?
Yeah, sure. No, I've just been doing price analysis for the Crypto Vigilante guys, and we do Monero in every single update because it's that important. And so, they're great over there. Great group of guys, innovative thinkers, and it's been super fun working with them. I just do 4 updates a week on Bitcoin, Monero, and then 2 other altcoins that just we think are interesting. We've been doing a lot of DeFi recently, but Monero's in there every day, and I love to talk about it. And I got some charts here for y'all whenever we get ready to talk about it.
Yeah, awesome. How did what's your quick crypto story?
So in 2013, my brother, he was in high school, but he was going to like lots of Mises circle stuff and getting into Austrian economics. And so he was like, "Oh, take a look at this thing, Bitcoin." And I was like, "All right, yeah, I'll let's see what we got going on." And so I looked into it and rabbit holed like everybody else. And so I had a buddy from college who was also into crypto, and he's like, "Well, let's start an analysis company. Let's do a newsletter and provide coverage for people." And so Bull Bear Analytics was kind of the first company that I worked with. But yeah, it all started with my brother. He's an econ nerd since he was like 14 years old. So thanks, bro.
Then how'd you get involved in Crypto Vigilante?
Well, I kind of met some of those guys along the way.
Okay.
And so just in in TA circles and different chats, telegrams, that kind of stuff, you kind of run into the same kind of crew of characters, I feel like. And then Raphael, who's one of the main guys, he and I used to go to the crypto meetups in Austin, Texas back in 2013 and 14. And little did I know that we'd be working together, like 6, 7, 8 years later, which is about it. But it's cool. He knows all the same guys that I know down in Austin, Pierre Richard and Michael Goldstein and those guys. So that was kind of neat connection that we had.
Very cool. Very, very small world in crypto, I guess.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Not so small now, right?
No, not anymore. But all those guys are still pretty relevant in the space, and so it is actually still, the old school is still small. And Monero too. I got really into Monero when it came out because the one thing Bitcoin was lacking was privacy features, and it's another kind of that kind of community to the people back in the beginning. Everybody knows those names.
Yeah, very cool, man. Just so everybody who's joining us now, we got 11 people watching, so hopefully we'll get a few more. So typical format on MoneroTopia is we just hang out, talk about Monero. We have different guests on. Right now we're talking to Mr. W. He's going to be doing a price report. We have another guest that's joining us as well. What's his name?
Nathan Sen
Nathan
from
Sen.
D-Buzz.
Nathan Sen from D-Buzz.
He can't hear us, though, unfortunately.
Oh no, Nathan, try to get your things working out.
Yeah.
It's working for other people, so we know it's not our end that's not working. And then at some point, we're going to give away some Monero. We do that every time. We try to do it at a point in the show when we have the most viewers. So anybody that's watching now, try to tweet this out, retweet it, put it out there. The more people we get to watch it, the larger the prizes that we give away. So we're trying to increase that on a weekly basis. I think last week we gave away 60?
Yeah, not 70.
70 to 7.
Yeah,
So we had 70 viewers, 70 live viewers at some point.
At some point throughout the day.
So,
well, first and foremost, we have to talk about our sponsor, Cake Wallet.
Okay, so good call.
Cake Wallet sponsors this wonderful show that we've created. Cake Wallet is the first iOS Monero open source wallet, and recently just added Bitcoin, which is like a huge deal. And yeah, what's so cool about it is you control your own seeds and view keys. So it's a cool app. We've been using it since the start of it, right?
Literally since it launched.
Yeah, since it launched. Yeah, and it's been awesome, and it keeps getting better and better. So good job, Vic. Keep doing what you're doing. We love Cake Wallet.
We're New York City based, as you might be able to tell from our window, and Vic is as well, for the most part. Well, he's all over the place, but that we actually met Vic right after he launched Cake Wallet. He had it came out of nowhere for anybody who's not familiar with the story. Everybody was kind of waiting on an iOS wallet. Vic launched it out of nowhere, and as you can imagine, in the beginning there wasn't trust in in the wallet because nobody knew who this person was that launched this new product. So I kind of took the old school approach, seeing that I'm not a coder, so I wasn't able to view the open source code. So I actually contacted Vic and I asked him if he could meet up, and we met up at a bar in New York, and we've been friends ever since. And he's certainly a very trustworthy guy, and he's really been a pillar in the community, and Cake as well. They fund a lot of projects, and so it's definitely a good wallet and an amazing project to support because he supports the community. What did this guy get his sound working yet?
I think so. Can you? Hello? Can you hear? He says he can hear us. Can you talk now, Nathan?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. Awesome. Yep, we can hear you.
Nathan, what's going on, man?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I just had to go out of this app and open it. Now I can hear you. So
it's good. We were having some issues too,
it.
so you're making us look better. So what's going on? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Nathan Sen. I got into blockchain development in around 2015. I've worked on various different crypto projects. I've messed with the Monero source code and the original crypto note. I'm currently working on different blockchain technology for doing data storage, for actually storing data. And we currently have a team that is developing a decentralized social media and messaging. So we have quite a few different projects. Our main project right now is DBuzz, which is decentralized social media on the Hive blockchain.
Very cool. So what point are you in that project? Is there a working product?
There is a working project. So if you go to d.buzz, that is the website, and you can create if you have a Hive account, or if you had an old Steam account, you should be able to log in with the same credentials, or you can use Keychain, which is a browser extension to store your keys.
Very cool, man.
So here.
I'm just saying, people are asking how can they join the Jitsi. We'll send you the link, but it's MoneroTopia 6 on Jitsi, right?
Yep.
So if people want to come up on stage to talk.
I just pulled up DBuzz, your Twitter account, just so people can see it. Nathan?
Okay, yes, that's it.
Talk about it a little more?
Yeah. Tell us more.
Tell us a little bit more.
So our main aim is to give users freedom of speech. So we've seen with the large tech companies, Facebook and Twitter and others, are stifling people's voices, and we strongly oppose that. We believe that everyone should have an equal and open voice to be able to voice their opinion and say what they like on the internet. And we are working to provide
I'm gonna
that to
punch you in
people.
the face if you say that.
My name is Katayun.
Who's this? We have an imposter.
Monero, man.
Monero Man.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Hold on, Monero Man. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
mute
mute
you for a second. We have somebody talking.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Continue, Nathan.
So our main push is to promote freedom of speech and give people open and equal voice on the internet. And we feel like big tech is actively suppressing people's voice on the internet. And so we want to create a transparent and open solution for people to be able to post on the internet and have a voice on the internet. We also are a big believer that encrypted communication is important, and we're actively working to provide a encrypted messaging service as well that operates off the same blockchain.
Very cool, man. So who would you guys say is your competition, or who else is kind of working on projects similar to this right now?
There are various other projects. I'm not going to really mention any here, but there are some on Ethereum, and then there's supposedly another competitor coming out that's also going to be on the Hive blockchain. The biggest hurdle that a lot of our competitors have is for doing a social media on Ethereum and various other blockchains is they run into extreme transaction fees when posting or doing anything on it. So it just makes it impossible for anybody to really use. With DBuzz, the transactions are free on the Hive blockchain, so it allows our users a more affordable, more usable option compared to what some of the other competitors are using.
Very cool. So when you say it's decentralized, I mean, how decentralized is it? Is this thing actually going to be censorship resistant, or I mean, what are its
Yes.
What are its potential weaknesses?
So basically, all of the content on the entire social media site is stored on the Hive blockchain. And then our app is 100% front end, so meaning there's no back end to our app as far as user information being sent to our server, stored on our server. Everything is done directly from your device. And what we actually have done is created a IPFS website. So it will be a completely decentralized app where even though it's a browser side app, it will still run on your device. All of the code is front-end code. So it's actually being compiled and executed in your browser. Unlike Facebook and Twitter, everything's done on their servers, right? So even if our servers were to be taken down, as long as our site is pinned on IPFS across an array of nodes, then our site would never be taken down. And we also are using ENS, which is Ethereum name server. So our domain would be dbuzz.eth, and that's a Ethereum domain, and that's done through on the blockchain level. So really kind of replacing DNS with a blockchain solution, we have created a censorship resistant network and platform for people to use.
What's the business model here? How is this thing gonna be sustained?
Right now, we just have our developers who are working on it, and we're funding it. We have looked at various different ways of monetizing it, from running ads or doing different promotions. But right now, we're just really kind of focused on building the technology out, and whatever we decide in the future on how to monetize it, we've looked at possibly requesting grants to fund it. And our ultimate our ultimate goal is to open source all of our code. So it will be a completely open source, decentralized project.
Oh, okay. It's not open source yet. Okay.
It's not open source yet, and we are going to open source the code. We're just working to get it to a development point where we feel like we're far enough ahead in the game to open source our code.
Gotcha. So what is your Monero story? I know when you reached out, you said you happen to be a Monero guy as well. What's your quick Monero story?
So I seen Monero a couple years ago and studied, how it works, and I've played with the code and modified the code. I've done a lot with the code base of Monero. And for me, it's a no-brainer that you would want a currency that everybody in the world doesn't have access to see all my transactions. With Bitcoin, it doesn't take long for me to send money from one person to another out of an address for that address to be linked to me, right? And then anybody in the world has access to my financial, history. And I think that once people catch on, there's still this idea, and a lot of people that I talk to every day say, oh, well, Bitcoin's untraceable. I'm like, no, it's not. Everybody has this idea that Bitcoin's untraceable. I said the whole entire technology that is built on is that it is completely transparent and traceable. So for me, my big Monero thing is that it is untraceable. It does give us this actual form of digital cash where we can make transactions that are private, where everybody in the world can't see what we're doing.
Couldn't agree more. Cindy, you want to bring up? I emailed you links that we could share. So, guys, one of the things we want to do for everybody that's listening, we just recently interviewed Crypto Zoidberg. He was instrumental in the development of CryptoNote. He was on what was called the CryptoNote team, and he was kind of the main dev, is my understanding from the interview with him, working side by side with Nicholas Van Saberhagen, and he kind of developed the first implementation of what was proposed in the CryptoNote white paper. So what we wanted to ask the audience here today was if they had any questions for Nicholas Van Saberhagen. If you could ask him what would that one question be? During the interview, he had mentioned that he would pass questions on. I don't know if he was being facetious. He seemed to be pretty genuine when he said it. I was kind of shocked by it. So it seems as though Nicholas Van Saberhagen is around and potentially somewhat accessible through Andre, Crypto Zoidberg, and would love to hear what people's questions would be to Nicholas Van Saberhagen, the pseudonymous or anonymous actually, creator of CryptoNote, which is the reason why we're all here today. I mean, Monero wouldn't exist but for CryptoNote, and kind of a big deal. So would love to hear what people's questions are. So anybody that has a question, would be awesome if you can jump onto the chat, onto the Jitsi, and tell us what your question is. So people that are on the Jitsi now, what do you guys think about that? What would you ask Nicholas Van Saberhagen? He's kind of like the Satoshi of Monero. Do you have any questions for this the founding father of Monero?
Well, we have a new guest, Monero Man.
Monero Man, you there?
Introduce himself. Say hello and hello. Monero Man.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Monero Man, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. How are you going?
Good, man. You're live.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've been listening to this, watching this program for quite a while now, so it's crazy to actually be live on it. Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on,
Thanks
man.
for jumping on. Appreciate it.
This show's all about interaction with the Monero community. So I assume you're into Monero. Are you familiar with Nicholas van Saberhagen?
Yeah, so isn't he like the person who created the created something called Cryptonote or something, and then Monero was based off that, like
Yeah, he's
like
kind of like the Satoshi of Monero, the author of
yeah.
the white paper. So we interviewed Zoidberg, this guy, Crypto Zoidberg, who is apparently has access to Nicholas, and he was saying if we had questions, we could pass questions on to him. So we're asking the audience if they have any questions for NVS.
Nicholas van Saberhagen, right?
Yeah. Well, what would you ask him today if he was, here in this room?
The
Maybe he is.
Maybe he is. We don't know.
yeah, he could be. I would say ask him, does he think that most people will eventually care about their privacy, or will they just give in to what government wants them to do, or will most people will they use this tool that's been given to them, like these privacy coins like Monero, will they actually use them, or will they just be like how DuckDuckGo exists but most people don't actually use it?
Very good question. Very good question. What do you think? What's your thought on that?
Well, I think that I don't really know, but I think if I had to say something, I would say I think if things have to get really bad for people to do something about things, like I think that's kind of like with everyone, like if things in life, like things have to usually get to a quite bad point for people to make drastic changes. So I think what we've seen in the past year, and also this year, people's rights have been taken away, and the more and more it happens, the more people wake up, and the more people kind of get switched on and realize what's going on, why are they taking away our rights, why is all this happening, and then they'll hopefully they'll kind of but I think it's a process, so it'll take some time.
Totally agree with that. I look at it a few ways. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's going to be moments like that. It could be even, very much crypto-related moments, right? So who knows? Maybe some government tries to confiscate Bitcoin, just like we've historically seen the attempts to confiscate gold in the past. And at that point, people may wake up to the fact that, Monero is more unconfiscatable than Bitcoin in some respects because of its private nature, right? Because you won't be able to see people moving it around. It adds a layer of protection there. So I could see events like that. Taxes, obviously pay your taxes, especially if you're here in the United States. But, you're gonna see people that may wake up to that fact and realize, something like Monero helps, obfuscate what they're doing, whether you agree ethically with it. But I think that may be a wake-up call for people. But yeah, totally agree. I think there's going to be wake-up calls. And then just the overall censorship that we've been seeing, which, like our other guest was talking about, where he is trying to create this technology, decentralized social media, like a decentralized Twitter. We've seen the deplatforming of people, including the previous president. So people starting to really understand the concept of censorship resistance. I think when you say that to people, a lot of their eyes kind of glaze over, and they're like, "What does that even mean? Why do we need censorship resistant technology?" But I think they're going to wake up to that as they actually start to really get censored in very real ways, not just in how they spend their money, but in other forms of speech. So yeah, totally agree with you there. And then I guess the other thing I want to say too is, we look at Monero, or I don't, but a lot of people do, as a privacy coin. And I just think that's the wrong way of looking at it. It's what crypto was meant to be. So even if you're going to use this, digital gold meme that Bitcoin has used so well, with the whole number go up technology, essentially, if you're going to analyze Bitcoin with that in mind, and then you look at something like Monero, you realize that it has features that Bitcoin lacks because of its privacy features. Primarily the fact that one Monero always equals one Monero because it's private and can't be tainted. So I look at it as that way too. That Monero doesn't necessarily have to be categorized as the DuckDuckGo to Google, but it kind of competes directly with potentially being the Google. So I know that BTC maximalists kind of faint at that thought, but I look at things that way. How about you?
No, I actually, yeah, that it is true. Yeah, I mean, money has to be portable, durable, divisible, fungible, and a store of value of a long period of time. And Bitcoin, BTC lacks that fungibility. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, Monero has more of the qualities of actual money than Bitcoin in its current form. So yeah, in that respect, yeah, I mean, I think it's just really early days in for Monero, and yeah, so I think it would just take some time for it to catch on because it is, it's not flawed really for now. I mean, it's fungible, and that's a key component of something being considered as actual money.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think just the fact what it is, its qualities will speak for itself when the time comes, and it's just a matter of time till people realize how significant it is.
Totally agree. Mr. W, any questions you'd want to ask Nicholas Van Saberhagen?
I was just thinking about it, and the one thing that I was thinking about, just what he thinks about, just like the different implementations of his protocol in the different crypto note coins. I mean, you're talking about Crypto Zoidberg. It takes me back because I remember trading Bullberry back in the day, and I think that was one of his side projects. And then also the kind of the introduction of the inflation schedule in Monero. I just probably would be curious about what he thought about these different implementations on top of the crypto note protocol.
His opinion of these different versions of crypto note.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And obviously the market kind of decided that some of the early ones weren't going to be able to compete with Monero. So I feel like that early race was kind of won, and maybe it's already Monero's kind of won anyway. But just the kind of the development of the ecosystem of coins that were built on top of his protocol.
Yeah, I'd be curious if he's happy with Monero, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And talking with go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just gonna say I'm happy with it, but I use it.
Yeah. I think he would be happy. Obviously, I don't know, but I think he would be. In talking to Crypto Zoidberg, he has his own project that he's working on, his own coin. But he had positive things to say about Monero, even though there were some difficult times in the early days, it sounded like, with his relationship with the Monero community. But he had positive things to say. Primarily, he's very impressed just by the fact that Monero has gotten as large as it is, and that the community is so motivated. And he kind of even said he's kind of jealous to a degree of the fact that Monero has this vibrant community.
Yeah, it's a strong community. Yep.
Yeah. I think the kind of the feelings mutual, and that the Monero community, at least I appreciate them, taking on other projects to kind of move the whole space forward and make people think about these, this particular project in a different way, maybe.
Definitely.
Let's go through the chat a little. Oh, we have someone else on here. Sean C. You want to say hello? Yes.
Cameras, guys. Let's do cameras. I know we got
know.
Monero too. But obviously you don't have to. But we'd love if you can. It just makes for a better show.
We feel lonely right now. We feel very exposed. Yeah.
Anybody else on stage that wants to talk regarding this topic?
Yes, I have a question.
I'm
I'm just curious about
Nathan.
what kind of future developments for Monero are in the works as far as scaling the network to be able to handle more transactions.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Triptych. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that yet.
So that's probably the biggest thing that's up and coming. That's going to add some, a decent amount of efficiency to Monero. Basically, it's going to allow Monero to increase the amount of decoys in the ring signatures, so it can be more effectively obfuscated, and it does it. My understanding is it does it in an efficient way. But ultimately, I think eventually you're going to need to see second layer technology. I'm not a developer. These are things that I learned from the community. But you're going to need to see a second layer built on top of Monero to really bolster the amount of transactions that can happen. And a lot of people too, I think, just don't realize how well Monero itself is architected in terms of its dynamic block size, and the fact that as more transactions take place, more transactions, go into a block, and essentially Monero becomes cheaper to use and send transactions as more people are using it, which is kind of an overlooked feature of Monero, and we haven't really seen it go into effect yet. The blocks haven't really acted dynamically yet, just because we haven't seen a major influx. But that's something not to be overlooked. That's a major design component of Monero.
I think that's going to be another one of its big advantages over Bitcoin. Once people realize that all of their transactions are public and open record, and that it's going to cost them $150 just to send, a small transaction, Monero is like the no-brainer option.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, in terms of being usable, Monero is very usable right now. It costs, I think, less than a cent, like a third of a cent or something right now to send, and you're sending a private transaction. You're not sending a potentially surveilled transaction. You're sending completely private. It's currently working as digital cash today, and for the foreseeable future, it seems like it will be able to handle that quite well and scale with the organic growth of the community. Who else we got? I see some new faces on here.
I know. We have Henry. Hi, Henry. How's it going?
Hello. Good, thanks.
Good.
I was just thinking on that topic that it's similar to checks with the zero. If you accept zero confirmation transactions, it's similar to accepting a check. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. You're thinking of that in relation to what?
Well, so with the zero confirmation transaction, it might not go through, but that's the same with a check. But you're kind of taking on faith that the check will pass. And so that's why typically you might wait for it to be confirmed several times rather than just having the transaction sitting in the mempool. and that
Yeah.
seems to be a similar function to a check. So if checks worked, then you could even just do it. If it's in the mempool, I'll consider it, transferred, at least for most purchases.
Yeah, especially minor purchases, right? Like the
Yeah.
day-to-day stuff. Definitely. What would you have? You have a Nicholas Van Saberhagen question on your mind at all?
No, but I was looking into a bit of the history of Monero. Particularly, I was wondering what is this leveling protocol thing in the code, and then I came across this post about Nicholas Van Saberhagen, but I don't have any questions for him.
Okay. Who else? Who else we got on stage? Anybody else want to?
No one on stage per se, but there are people in the chat that have questions.
Okay, you spot any?
Yeah, there's Ken. Hi, Ken. He asked, I'd like to ask if he thinks the price we pay in transaction size and blockchain growth to support privacy is too high still, or about right, and if we should expect that to get better.
Okay, kind of in line with the topic we're talking about. That certainly would, I think, would be a good question. Are there any others in the chat? Guys, come up with some big questions here. We're gonna actually ask Andre and have him pass them on to Nicholas Van Saberhagen. So
there's another one, FG Crypto Techno. How can we make adoption possible for merchants and stores? I think people don't understand Monero and think that's evil money.
Yeah, that's a good question. Not a Nicholas Van Saberhagen question, maybe per se, but yeah, that's I think that comes with time, obviously, and it comes with use. So, for example, we started Gratuitous, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's why.
So we started Gratuitous, which is a way to buy products, with Monero, and then we allow you to tip the people that produce those products. So we started with coffee, and now you can send a tip directly to the farmers that pick the coffee. We have Guatemalan coffee. It's on Gratuitous. Now, this is just a small example, but that's the only way. These things happen by us doing it, by the community doing it. So it's not about waiting for it to happen. If you want it to happen, you gotta make it happen. The technology is here. The technology works. Monero works as designed. Literally, the only thing stopping Monero is adoption, and I believe it can scale. So we just need to get people to use it. There's really nothing else in its way. I mean, when you really talk to BTC maxis and people in crypto, and they talk about at the end of the day, what really puts Bitcoin ahead of Monero is just the fact that it is ahead of Monero, the fact that it has the first mover advantage. But the first mover advantage isn't the first mover guarantee. It's just that. It's only an advantage. And there's no reason why Monero can't be an island of its own, MoneroTopia, just continue to grow and using it. So the best thing anybody can do that wants to help Monero is just use Monero, buy it, hold it, and use it. And I think adoption will come from that. Sure, can it be used for nefarious things? And are we going to see people attack it for that? Absolutely. But, we all know, the internet can be used for nefarious things. I mean, every tool can be used for nefarious things. So that's just part of its growing pain. And once enough people are using it for everything, then the portion of it that's being used for nefarious things will become a very small percentage of the network.
I have another question. There were some articles that came out last year talking about there were various patents being filed on the traceability of Monero, or tools that could trace Monero transactions. I read a lot of it, but it was very vague and never really explained. Is there any more information on that?
Yeah, there's a great video that the CEO of CipherTrace was interviewed on what's the name of their channel?
Monero Space.
Monero Space.
Yeah. With Justin.
Formerly Monero Coffee Chat. Monero Space, they have the Breaking Monero series on there, and they interviewed, I assume this is who you're talking about, CipherTrace. Watch that show, watch that interview, and it's pretty revealing. I mean, it's CipherTrace is analyzing it, and through heuristics are basically making they're not, there's no
They're making assumptions based on
probability, right? There's no
probability or something.
deterministic. They can't determine with any certainty, who's sending what to who, and obviously any amounts. So I think it's a little overblown. And when you watch that interview, it's quite revealing that number one, I don't think there's anything much worth patenting there, and number two, it doesn't seem like they have any great technology that's able to decipher Monero in any way.
That was kind of the conclusion I came to as well. I just wanted to hear what someone else's opinion was.
Yeah, that's definitely the consensus in the Monero community, that nobody has figured out how to break Monero in those terms. But it's a constant battle, right? Fluffy Pony always talks about that in a very eloquent way, and privacy is always a constant battle. It's not something you just win and walk away from. You don't build some perfect technology and walk away from it. And that's Monero's greatest asset, is it has this amazing community and development team where everybody's interests are aligned in fighting this battle, and always striving to be digital cash and evolving as needed towards that, not kind of sitting on our hands and saying, well, we've achieved success, but realizing the fight never ends. So we have 25 people watching now. It's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Why don't we do the price report, right? Would be a good time for that.
Mr.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let me
you want to share your screen?
Share here.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go to, let's do this. Let's try again. Screen sharing failed. Oops, something went wrong.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. Let me
describe the charts. No.
I know, golly. Talk about bad timing. I might have to pop back in.
Okay. Pop out, pop back in.
Yeah, give me one.
Anybody who's watching live, we're going to do the giveaway soon.
So we're up to 29.
I don't know how sustainable this is, the giveaway
29.
every week. No, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I want to get to the point where we're giving away, a decent amount. So the giveaway is based on the amount of people watching. So we only have 28 people watching right now. So let's, share it, try to get more people on the live stream, and we'll give away a larger prize. Who's that guy?
The more the merrier. This is Sean. Hi, say hello. How's it going?
Hello.
What's going on, Sean?
How's it going?
Did you watch the Crypto Zoidberg interview?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed the fact that he was talking about his original background. So I can confirm that he was there, and much of what he was saying at the time was definitely what I've heard from other sources. So yes, he was involved with everything.
Yeah, I was a little worried about doing the interview, because I didn't want to, give somebody a platform that was, providing false information or misleading people. But he seemed very genuine, and in other people that I spoke to in the community, some other old school people said, yeah, he was most certainly there in the early days and part of CryptoNote. Sean, do you have any? What would your Nicholas Van Saberhagen question be, if you haven't asked him already? I don't know.
Oh, I myself was not there. I just know a lot of people who were. So yes, there is actually evidence to suggest that both Nicholas Van Saberhagen and Satoshi Nakamoto used a particular style of writing that's particular to just a few locations. in
See
the
where you're
English.
going with this? Go ahead.
He spelled certain words in certain ways that would suggest he wasn't American or Canadian, or but he could have been British or South African, or maybe in any of the far eastern locations where English is one of the primary languages. So it's very interesting. It's not likely that, say, two separate people who maintained perfect anonymity and were the founders of these radical notions, that they'd both be from the same geographical locations, that only had a small percentage of those type of people who spoke that way and wrote that way. So it's just, I don't know, suggests they might be the same person.
So when I was talking to Andre, he was kind of, I think at some point he was referring to Nicholas as Nick, and Nick Zabos is one of the top contenders of being a Satoshi. But I don't know. Would he then just use his real name? I mean, you have any thoughts there? Is Nick Zabos Satoshi and Nicholas Van Saberhagen?
Well, I can't speak specifically about Nick Szabo, but he was a computer scientist, and a lot of the people who go back and take a look at the original things, there's only a very select few people in academia who could have published any of the source code for that the original version of Bitcoin Core. It was written by somebody who didn't have a very deep understanding of computer coding at the time, because a lot of the original software bugs are still inside the specification for Bitcoin, because it was just a mess and a bunch of problems involved in the original versions of everything. Those are still there. And if any other alternative versions of the source code are compiled, you have to keep the original bugs in there. And so it's a thought. Somebody like Nick Szabo had a lot of computer programming experience. And so it might not suggest he was either, if that was him making that code, he probably really wasn't, he might have been asleep at the wheel when he was writing everything. So it's probably somebody who was more of an economist or had some sort of background that wasn't specifically computer programming.
Okay. Yeah. Always love your insights, by the way. You have to come on every MoneroTopia show. You're going to become a regular.
Oh no! Oh well.
We gotta get Nick Zabos on Monero.
I've been trying.
We gotta get him on Monero Talk.
We do.
I
think Mr. W, you ready?
Yeah, we finally got it figured out here. So,
Awesome.
let's talk about price for a sec. I got 5 charts pulled up here, and
people
this is
love
a
talking
6
about
hour.
price. We pretend we don't care about price in Monero, but everybody does. So.
No, exactly. It's all exactly. It's like you said, 1 Monero equals 1 Monero. So this is all relative to these other currencies that are good. We'll start on the lower time frames, just looking at XMR BTC pair to see how XMR is currently performing relative to Bitcoin, which is obviously in a pretty strong bull market still, even though it's consolidating right now. And so there's a big old triangle happening right now, which just tells me.
We don't see your screen, though. Are you showing the screen?
Yeah, it says you are sharing your screen.
Oh, no, we just see Mr. MW right now. Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, I can still, when I'm looking at Jitsi and I look at my screen, I see all of you right now. And then when I click over to my chart, it shows my chart.
No, we just see MW.
Do we have it turned off for some reason for share screen? No, right?
No, because it worked the last. I haven't switched anything. Hold on.
I can see his screen, except
it's showing.
Call.
Oh, is it? Okay, hold on.
You can see his screen?
No, we're seeing. Really? Who's seeing it?
The live stream is not showing the screen.
Yeah, the live stream isn't showing. It's just showing MW. Oh, no. Now I see all of you. I see your screen.
Yeah.
Mr. W. I see your entire screen. Okay, now I do.
Yeah. It says I'm screen sharing on Jitsi. Got the little red things at the top blinking.
Okay. Audience, do you guys see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the charts now. Yeah.
No, they don't see the screen.
Yeah, we don't see it. That's very
don't see
odd.
I don't see it. I don't see anything either.
Oh, now we see it. It's popping up on the live stream.
Okay, now it is.
All right, so go ahead.
All right.
Well, actually, only a little bit of it. Actually, hold on. It's the screen and everyone else in the chat. Maybe try again.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I'm just, it says you are sharing your entire screen. And so, and I've turned it on and off a couple times.
All right, just go for it. Share the screen and go for it. It is what it is. If we just hear it, it's okay, but, it might kick in at some point.
Yeah.
Well, so if nobody can see it, then, I'll just, I can do just kind of a vocal update. There's on the XMR BTC pair on the 6-hour and the daily chart, any kind of short to medium term time frame. There's this almost perfect symmetrical triangle, which price is now kind of bouncing off of, and moving back into the middle of the triangle. It's got to resolve soon. And given some of the indicators that I look at on the daily chart, it looks like we're going to have at least a false breakdown back towards the 0.004, maybe below that. But that's a buy. I mean, we've been calling that a buy for a while now, and for a longer term accumulation, that it seems like that's the play. Is anything below 0.004 relative to Bitcoin is a longer term buy, given the weekly chart is in a long term accumulation zone that goes back to 2015. So yeah, I mean, I think longer term players can just continue to buy the dips. If you want to be more strategic, maybe buy below 0.0042 for a move back up to 0.0046 or 7. But right now it's just ranging, so not a lot going on there. As far as the USD pair, we had this kind of rising wedge coming out of this consolidation that has broken down now. So it's looking like at least maybe over the next 3 to 5 days, the bias might be to the downside a little bit, maybe towards the 200 area. But just like on the BTC pair, that's a buy. I mean, anything below 200 is going to be a buy longer term. And then you have, once we bottom out here, which I think we're probably in the process of doing around 200, the next kind of upside level is the 300% Fibonacci extension level at about $325. So once we start moving up again and the uptrend starts again, that would kind of be my next upside target would be the 3 to 325 area, something like that. So longer term things look good, but it's going to probably stay boring for the next week or so.
What is Crypto Vigilante telling its people to do regarding Monero these days?
Yeah, so what I just said, buying below 0.004 on the BTC pair, and then anything below 200 is a buy in my opinion on the USD pair. I think you'll find support, nice support from the bulls of around 200, and it's looking like, at least for now, we're trying to build a base here, in this 2 to 220 area. So that's our call, at least. Just continue to add to long positions on dips. No selling, just add.
I gotta imagine all the weak Monero versus Bitcoin hands are washed out at this point, right? I mean,
if you look at the weekly chart again, you can see that we're in this long-term accumulation area. That, let me see when it goes back to. I mean, we're talking about these prices haven't been seen really since 2016, spring 2016. I mean, that's a long round trip, over a 4 or 5 year period, and now you get all the classic signs in this area, this 0.004 area of players starting to get active again and starting to accumulate for the next cycle. But when that starts, it's hard to tell. Could be a week, could be 2 months, 3 months from now. But I think in 2021 we get a rally, a pretty big rally in the BTC pair.
Beautiful. Overall, with so obviously we're in a major bull market here with crypto. So, I mean, how do you see technically working? It's Bitcoin is going to top at some point, and then Monero is going to catch up is effectively what's going to happen. That's when we'll see it kind of catch up in the BTC pair.
Yeah, you get, I mean, it's almost in the early, and I still think we're relatively early in the early stages, meaning time-wise, of the Bitcoin bull market. And so I think that has another 6 to 8 months to run. And typically in the past cycles, the alt seasons, when the altcoins start to perform against BTC while it's going up too, that happens later in the cycle. Typically towards the end, in last cycle, you really didn't see really big moves to the upside until late summer. And then, Bitcoin, of course, topped out in December 2017. And so it was those last few months where the FOMO really gets going, that the altcoins will get going too. So I think, I'm thinking that it won't be after Bitcoin tops completely for this whole cycle. I just think it'll be later in the cycle when Monero really starts to catch a bid.
And, obviously tough question, but you think we get up to, in terms of BTC XMR, what's the range? Where do we get to?
I mean, that's a tough call. I mean, right now we've been saying that the initial, like the first stop of like a longer term target would just be the round number 0.01. So you get back to that level, and then you probably have a reaction there, some consolidation for a while. But over the next, let's say, a year and a half, as the rest of this whole crypto cycle plays out, I could see it getting up into the maybe even 0.02 area, back up there, which would be a huge move. I mean, that's a 4x from here.
Yeah. 0.02 feels right. That feels like where we need to be against Bitcoin.
I agree. If you think about it, that's only when you do the numbers, that's only essentially 2% of what the value of Bitcoin. And yeah, I think Monero deserves to be even higher than that. But let's get there first.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you're conservative. I like it.
Over the short term, long term bullish, but shorter term, yeah, consolidation. But I mean, if we do get up to 0.02, start things to stay bullish. I mean, really, there's not a huge amount of resistance once you get above there before you just start rocketing to all-time highs. So we'll see. Gotcha.
Well, this was great.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it again for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You want to bring up some of those links? I sent you those links. Somebody's asking,
Yeah, sure.
Did we talk about?
Mr. W, can you stop sharing your screen? Because then it just stays on your screen. That's the problem.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, see, I did. I'll just leave because it's cut off. It's not screen sharing anymore, but I guess it's still.
Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, it happened last time too. I don't know why it does that.
All right, Mr. W. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, somebody brought up Sovereign Street Art. Have you guys discussed Cypherpunk Holdings buying Monero? No, we have not. That was one of the things I wanted to bring up. If you want to bring up
sure.
the links. So I don't know what people's opinion are of that. Obviously, that's great news. So Cypherpunk Holdings, I don't know much about them, but they've decided to allocate funds to Monero. So obviously, that's a positive thing. Anybody have any opinions on that? On Cypherpunk Holdings finally realizing that if they want to maintain their name as Cypherpunk Holdings, that they should probably hold the only truly cypherpunk crypto coin. Do we have any comments from people on the stage?
Anyone? Oh, there's a new person on here, Alan. Oh, he disappeared. Alan or whatever.
Sean, what do you think, man?
Sean, you have any comments?
Well, I'd just like to note that this investment company had purchased a large amount of XMR, I think last year, maybe around June or something. They dumped a large amount of it with the statement that it was going to be regulatory problematic by keeping that anymore. So it's odd. They're right back into the same level that they were invested before. Maybe their investment's a little off, but they purchased it for a lot more than they sold it for last year. That's for sure. So I don't think their investors are going to be very happy about the fact that they lost out that opportunity.
Well, that's potentially a good indicator, right? So they think maybe the skies have cleared a little bit in terms of the threat of regulation against Monero. Could that potentially be their, obviously just, I don't know what they're thinking, but if that was their original reason for selling, then you'd have to imagine they feel like it's less of a risk now in terms of regulation, right?
Oh, right. I'm sure that there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes here. And it's when you have a large investment firm like this, they're usually not concerned about, let's say, just the American market, the U.S. investments and whatever the SEC is doing. So whenever there's like any major change that occurs in these things, it could be very sensitive to any international market. Any change of policy or something like that usually you see everybody change at the same time. So this is actually, I think, pretty early on. There was a lot of talk late last year around, I don't know, third quarter, maybe early this year about regulatory problems, but that hasn't changed from the SEC. So this is early. Maybe they're reacting early. Maybe they're more sensitive to some of the international changes. So I guess if you're going to use this as a leading indicator, then yeah, maybe a few months from now, we're going to hear a lot more about people interested in buying. But, I don't know.
Very good. Yeah, I agree. Sovereign Art, you're being cryptic, which is, I guess, expected. The DM I sent Doug on Twitter is related to what is the DM? Tell us. What is the DM you sent? Let's do the game. So we have, right? Good time to do the game?
Yep, it is.
So we got like 28, 29, all right?
29. It fluctuated. There was like a 31 at some point.
All right, so
maybe they lost internet connection.
We'll give away $30 of Monero. Who wants to play in the game? We're going to do a Price is Right edition again.
Yep. So we have.
Who do we have?
Well,
we want some new players, guys. Who's that?
Nathan.
Oh, that's Nathan.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else wants to participate?
There's a Monero.
Yeah,
man.
I would, but I've got to head off.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you,
Henry?
Matt. Thanks for popping in again.
All right. Thanks so much, Henry.
Yeah, see you next
Chiming
time.
in.
Good luck,
We'll see
everyone.
you next time. Thanks so
Yeah.
much. Have a good day. Monero man, you interested in playing? You look like you're muted, my friend.
Monero Man is chilling over there.
I know.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean,
Is he naked?
No.
I like
no,
this
it's
guy.
good. I'm.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
he's
It was
fully
like the
clothed,
shirt. I
clothed.
thought you were
naughty.
all tatted up with your shirt off over there.
No.
How's it going, man? You want to play? You want to participate?
Yeah. I'll play. Why not? I'll play.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And let's get one or two more people. Sean, you want to play this round? All right.
Alrighty.
Anybody
I'm down.
else from the
I'll go.
audience? If you want to,
Yeah, anyone, we're gonna send the link again.
we'll send the link
And,
again. We're
you
gonna take
guys
one
can-
more contestant.
There you go.
Oh, there's a link.
Yep. Well, it's the Jitsi link.
Jitsi blank.
Explain how to play. You gotta jump on to learn the rules, my friend. What's up, Doug? Thomas Bergen says, "What's up, Doug?" Say hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, let's see who else.
We're setting up the
jumps on.
link. Jump on, guys, if you want to play. Chance to win $34
Wow, why
US
not?
dollars
Yeah, there
worth
you
of
go.
Monero.
Let's do this, my friends. Anyone else? No? No one's interested in jumping on? Your mic and video should work.
Nope, we got somebody. Who's that?
We want to see faces a little.
Oh yeah, we need faces.
Yeah, we
guys.
need
I know this
faces.
goes. It's contradictory.
At least,
to
at
Monero.
least jumping on to play the game, you need to have a camera on. Sorry, guys. So, Dosia, we need to see your face. I'm sorry.
Dosia, can you speak at least?
Hello.
We need sound at the very least. We
Yeah.
need sound. Well, we need one more contestant, guys.
One more.
Jump on.
Come on. $34 worth of Monero. You want it.
It's dropped to 32, but we'll keep it up to 30.
We'll stick it at 34.
Anybody?
Anyway. Hello. Oh no! Oh, that was.
You guys don't need to
Mike and
download
Chuck.
anything. Just go to the link.
People are complaining that we need the camera.
You don't need the camera on if you want to.
Oh,
come
I
on.
have a show question.
You don't
Do
need the
plan on
camera.
having an announcement? We're actually. I was thinking about it.
But we need sound.
We might, Sean. We might potentially have her soon.
Oh,
we're trying
yeah,
to figure
yeah.
out the date and time. She's about like 12 hours ahead of us.
Well,
so
she
we might.
DM'd
might-
me. She said she might not be able to come on till like June.
No, I know, but then I DM'd her and I said that we may be able to do an early show, which would be before our, daytime jobs.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna try to figure that out.
Okay.
So the next show might potentially.
I don't even know
be
who
early.
who is she. I mean, she has a strong following, I think, on Twitter now regarding
she
Monero.
started. Yeah, she. Hold on a second. Can you guys see the guy? Oh, okay. So there's 4. Oh, now there's 4. Okay.
Can you guys not see the guy in the car?
No, Nathan. We know Nathan. Nathan's there. We see him.
Nathan, we see. So,
We included
so
Nathan.
Nathan is playing.
Nathan
All right.
is playing. We needed one more other person. So
All right, whatever. We'll
Hello,
go. With,
everyone.
wait, who's this?
now we have 2 people. We have Danish Crypto.
All right, so let's do.
So we're
let's
using-
do 4. Let's do Nathan,
Yeah.
Danish, Sean, and
Monero Man. Unfortunately, Tatanka. I'm sorry, since you don't have your camera on, and we only need 4.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I don't
but
have
you
the
can-
com. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't have the com, but I would like to participate in the game.
all right, all
So-
right. Since
Hard-
you're you drive a hard bargain there. What's your Monero story? Can we at least get that out of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I come from North Africa, from Tunisia, exactly. I'm participating in the crypto space since 2016. So I'm
Very
following
cool, man.
Monero since 2017.
Where'd you say you're from? Tunisia?
From Tunisia, yeah.
Very cool, man. What's the crypto
I'm
scene
complete-
like over there?
Unfortunately, our people here, they don't, they support more decentralized blockchain, like University. Here, the government blockchain or consortium blockchain will dominate more. So we need to spread the awareness of people.
Spread the word
about
there.
potential
All
types
right.
of coin.
Are you a big Monero supporter? Or are you? What's
Yeah,
your...
for sure. Yeah.
Very cool. How'd you get involved? How'd you get into Monero?
Yeah, personally, I'm holding Monero since 2 years ago. So I'm watching sometimes MoneroTopia.
How'd you find your way to Monero?
And then-
Were you a Bitcoin guy, and then you came through to Monero? What was your journey to Monero?
As anyone, I found Bitcoin first, but later I discovered the real face of the Bitcoin. So my culture is for Cypherpunk. So for this reason, I support more Monero. And
Cool,
also
man. Cool. Well,
private
welcome
coin.
aboard.
Thank you so much.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna do the game. So let's do one.
Yeah,
we'll do
him,
5
right,
people.
Tantanka. Yeah.
All right.
Tantanka. Danish Crypto. Oh, Danish Crypto. You want to introduce yourself? Say hello. And what's your
hello guys.
short Monero story?
Yeah, I've been in cryptocurrency for almost 9 years now, and
Really?
yeah, crypto I've made a kind of freedom and privacy, and suddenly I, like many other people, realized that if you suddenly have 10 Bitcoin in your wallet, everybody knows. And in a day like today, hell no, I'm gonna show people that off. So privacy for the win. I'm a big privacy guy. Also, yeah, decentralization and stuff is all I've been working for. Working with a bunch of different projects over the space now, and yeah.
What are the different projects you work on?
I work with something called Motorcoin, a cannabis, one of the best producing cannabis coins in the space at the moment. I work with Presearch, the only decentralized search engine in the world. I work with Dust, a cryptocurrency built on the Wax blockchain for something called an algorithm called POT, like proof of text. So you can make cryptocurrency for texting, which is everything every community in the crypto space does. And I just got a couple of other works as a community administrator for some NFT projects and stuff. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So you mentioned that, you know, when you have 10 Bitcoin, whatever, the whole world knows it. You get it. I get it. Why do you think it's taken so long for everybody else to understand that and realize the importance of that?
Basically because people have this idea of if you keep things private, you're a criminal. And it's not the case, because for me personally, 3 Bitcoins is over 1 million of my local currency. And if people saw that, every one of just my friends, I will be a target for sure if they knew exactly what I had. And then I will go to a party and will be beaten down until I spill my phrases or something like that.
Serious stuff, man.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, also big companies, look at Apple or something. If they're going to hire a developer or something, if everything is crypto-based, Bitcoin-based, they need to pay that person somehow. And if Android then can see that, oh, they hired this guy over here because the money trace goes directly there, they know what is coming or what could be coming, and that can ruin a lot of development in the space. So
totally agree. You know, it annoys me. You see, I don't know if do you know who Alex Gladstein is?
Yeah.
It annoys me to see, you know, his whole brand is, you know, he's humanitarian. He's very concerned about, you know, protecting people's freedoms and liberties. And he has quite the platform. He has a very large following. And I hate to see when he's directing people to use Bitcoin for purposes of censorship resistance and you know, protecting your wealth and your ability to transfer outside of the purview of potentially a tyrannical government, when we all know that it's, you know, potentially the greatest surveillance tool you know, ever invented. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know why he can't be more supportive, at least more supportive of Monero for those purposes, rather than just trying to come up with justifications why Bitcoin may one day be usable for those purposes. And given what he supposedly stands for, I don't know why he says those things.
Probably because he's only looking at the statistics from the hash rate point of view. That is the blockchain with the most hash rate, meaning it's the blockchain that is probably the hardest to make a 51% attack on. But when it comes to freedom and privacy, I totally agree with you, because that's, again, if you want privacy, you don't want everybody to know what you have on your bank account.
Exactly. Let's do the game. We'll give away $35 worth of Monero. So guys, it's going to be a Price is Right. We're going to throw up a. Actually, we're not going to show it. Well, can you show without showing it? I guess we'll describe it.
Yeah, describe it.
You want to pull up the link without sharing it so I can see it? I sent you a link, I believe. So I don't know if you guys heard the news. One of the breaking stories is that TapJets now accepts Monero, which I thought was really cool. It's private. You know, people can sign up and they can get a flight on a private jet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you pull up. I guess we're jet share. What are we doing? Jet share flights. So we're gonna ask you. So on TapJets, we have all our contestants. Everybody's ready.
Hold on a second. Well, now, yeah.
Can everybody DM us? Does everybody have the ability to DM?
Well, okay, so we're only doing 5 right now, right?
We're doing 5 people.
Right? So we're doing Nathan.
This is going to be a Price is Right.
I'm going to Monero, man, because these are the first 5 people that jumped on. Sean, Danish crypto, and I'm sorry I'm butchering the name, but Tantanka.
Tantanka.
I'm sorry, Hayden. You can't play. Sorry. Next time.
And we're gonna ask you guys to send us your
yes.
best guess at what this thing. You have to DM us your best guess at what this thing costs in Monero. All right. So do you want to establish DM with everybody? Send us a test DM just so we know that you can do it.
Yeah. And then once we say go, you guys.
Over Jitsi, right?
Yep.
Yes,
over Jitsi.
Yeah.
So just send us a hello on DM. This is intense.
Dun, dun, dun.
So you guys think Satoshi's going to atomic swap any of his Bitcoin for Monero? What do you guys think?
100%.
If I was him, I would
already
atomic
done
swap
so.
all of them.
Why can't I private message you guys?
Okay.
No, you guys are not. Okay, let me do that. Let me do it for you.
All right, we'll send it to you.
Hello, Nathan, so I can keep track of it. Hello, that's you.
I don't know what to do without you. This I would not be able to do this.
Hello, Monero man. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Audience, what do you guys think about that? Do you think Satoshi will ever move his coins and potentially move them into Monero in any way? I mean,
In
can
the
you
last
imagine?
month or so, there has been a lot of movement from over 10-year-old Bitcoin pools from some of the first miners. So who knows? He already maybe is moving his coins. Maybe it's some of the first people in. I don't know.
So
Nicholas
my
Van
thought on
Saberhagen can move his coins every day. Nobody would know, right?
Which one are we doing?
So we have everybody set up.
Well, I messaged everyone. You guys got my messages? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all
So
very
here we
well.
go. We're going to ask you. So Tap Jets, we could do don't show them the price. Just you could just screen share. So Tap Jets has added Monero. We're asking you guys for a flight from Peterborough. Actually, you clicked on it.
Well, we're gonna see that then.
Okay, don't show.
No, I'm not screen sharing.
From Teterboro to where's Van News? What?
I don't even know where that is. Hold on.
Okay, a flight from Teterboro to Van News.
I gotta look this
How much it would cost? Can you go back to the screen?
Yes. That
How
is
much?
in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, okay.
So we have an idea.
I'm a New Yorker, guys. So I guess I should know that. But how much it would cost for a seat on the plane? It's an 8-passenger plane. We want it's a 10-seat plane. So if all 10 seats were taken, how much? No, we're gonna do that. How much it would cost if all 10 seats were taken?
No, that says as low as.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, if all 10 seats were taken on this private jet, how much it would cost in Monero for one seat on this 10-seat private jet from where's it from? From Teterboro to Van Nuys in California. Yeah, give us your best guess in XMR, obviously. And I thought this was awesome news, by the way, that this private jet company was adding the ability to purchase with Monero, and they seem to be pretty into it. They put up a whole blog post about it. You could basically buy a ticket on a private jet in kind of an anonymous fashion. Obviously, they need to know who you are. But the idea being, if you were paying with Bitcoin, the whole world could potentially know that you're purchasing a private jet ticket and, maybe even potentially figure out where you're going. So just a great example of why privacy coins make sense.
Put a little screen for people.
So what do we got? We got guys send in your guesses. Send in your guesses. No Googling. We're gonna give it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Did we get the guesses? What is the correct amount?
So hold on, just making sure everyone.
Well,
chimed in.
whether they didn't or not, we'll take
Okay,
whoever
we're
sent.
taking- yeah, we're just
So the correct amount in USD was 2,900 for a seat on the private jet. If all 10 seats were taken, which comes out to 13.6 XMR. That actually doesn't sound too bad. 13.6.
Danish crypto. I
Danish
think we're the
crypto.
closest.
Somebody
What?
maybe did some quick googling, but hey, whatever. That's a skill set in and of itself. So
Never use Google. They track your fucking activity.
Oh, there you go. So we have everyone. So yeah, we have hit.
what are the other guesses?
Crypto.
6.7.
6.7, 13.7, 24.5, and 90.
6.7
Oh, wow. So
BTC.
Danish
Oh,
crypto
damn.
hit it right on the head. Who's Danish crypto?
This guy.
Oh, dude! Wow!
Hey.
Wow! Wow! All right, man.
You said
Congratulations.
13.6, and I was like, shit, I was wrong.
So email us your address. I'm gonna message you privately to our email.
Did you Google it? You got to tell you win the prize anyway. But did you Google it?
I CoinGecko'd the price of Monero to make sure, and I was like around $3,000 is an eight-person plane. So, and you said afterwards it was 2,900. So yeah.
All right. You're fast, man. You're fast.
All right, Speedy.
All right, that was awesome. All right, so we'll send you your Monero.
I sent you a private DM. Just send us your Monero address and your name, and we'll go from there.
Guys, we're gonna wrap it up because we got to eat something. We've just been drinking vodka, and we gotta put some food in our stomach
and I'm
over
also
here.
at 34%.
And we're running out of juice.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be doing this again next week.
Yep.
What
We
interview
might.
are we posting?
What? Oh well.
Oh, Da Vinci, right?
Da Vinci is going to be next week, but right now, I just posted the Crypto Zoidberg yesterday. So.
Yeah, we posted that yesterday, and then Da Vinci is going up next week. I just interviewed him this morning. He's an old school Bitcoiner. He has like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we had a great conversation. And he likes Monero. He definitely likes Monero. So thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. Cheers.
Cheerios, my
Thanks
friends.
for stopping by MoneroTopia. We'll see everybody again soon.
Cheers.
So long.
So long. Have a good
Thanks
night,
for having
or
me on.
Have a good morning. Have
Yeah,
a
thank you
wonderful
everybody for
day.
coming on.
So long,
Nice seeing you guys.
I know. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.